psicopata é uma pessoa que sofre um distúrbio psíquico, uma psicopatia que afeta sua forma de interação social, muitas vezes se comportando de forma irregular e antissocial. A mentira é sua ferramenta de trabalho, manipulando a verdade com o objetivo de conseguir algo para si, totalmente insensível e indiferente, buscando sempre ser o centro das atenções. A pergunta que não se cala é: por que algumas pessoas se tornam psicopatas? A ciência e a psiquiatria ainda não têm uma solução definitiva, mas a análise de casos revela algumas evidências que são comuns encontrar na vida de psicopatas. Assista e tire as suas próprias conclusões. Abuso sexual na infância. Elizabeth Thomas. Quando ela tinha 1 ano de idade, sua mãe faleceu no parto do seu irmão. Os dois ficaram sob a guarda do pai, que passou os meses seguintes abusando sexualmente de Beth. Depois de um tempo, ela e o irmão foram levados para adoção, e um casal acabou conseguindo a guarda rapidamente. Com o passar do tempo, eles começaram a perceber um comportamento estranho por parte da menina. Ouça as palavras perturbadoras por parte da própria criança.
Are people afraid of you, Beth? Who's afraid of you, Beth?
John.
Your brother. And what is your brother? Why is your brother afraid of you?
I love him so much.
Okay. And what at nighttime? What do your parents do to your door?
Lock it shut.
Why do they lock it shut?
Because they don't want me to hurt John.
Right. And they're kind of afraid of hurting John? Of you hurting John? Okay. Are they afraid that you might hurt them?
Yep.
Would you, Beth? When would you do it?
Nighttime.
Okay. Why would you do nighttime?
Because I don't like them seeing me do it. But they can feel me do it.
And what would you do to him, Beth?
Stab them.
Okay. What would you stab him with?
A knife.
The repercussions of Beth's tragic childhood led to uncontrollable rage. Despite the love and nurturing of her adoptive parents, she took this rage out on herself, on her brother, and on them. Her acts of violence became more and more cruel and frightening.
Well, I noticed several, like paring knives in the kitchen, missing. And my first thought was Beth. And I felt a little guilty about it at first. I thought, nah. But I really didn't even mention it to her. They'd been gone several weeks. She was sitting at the table drawing and mentioned to me, what do those knives look like that are gone, Mom? And I said, what knives, Beth? And she said, weren't they kind of silver and about this big? And I knew then, and then this little smile that's not a sweet smile, but a malicious type of smile. And I knew then, I thought, she's got them.
Tell me about the knives. Where did you get them?
From the drawer.
And where else? Do you remember? Tell me about it.
I got them from the dishwasher.
What kind of knives?
Big sharp ones.
And what do you want to do with those knives?
Kill John and Mommy with them, and Daddy.
And when Mommy asks you about where the knives are, what do you say?
I don't know where they are.
Perversão sexual. Ted Bundy, o psicólogo charmoso. Ted era atraente, ambicioso e confiante. Gostava de garotas de cabelos pretos e longos. Ele atraía suas vítimas para a porta do carro, muitas vezes dizendo que precisava de ajuda para carregar as compras. Ele aparecia como uma muleta ou um braço engessado. Ted batia nas vítimas e levava-as embora, para reservadamente desfrutar de suas mortes. Condenado à morte e executado em 1989, confessou 30 minutos antes da execução ter matado 30 mulheres. Ted admitiu que tinha um apetite insaciável por pornografia violenta. Ouça sua confissão.
And that's part of the tragedy of this whole situation is because I grew up in a wonderful home with two dedicated and loving parents, one of 5 brothers and sisters. A home where we as children were the focus of my parents' lives, where we regularly attended church, 2 Christian parents who did not drink, they did not smoke, there was no gambling, there was no physical abuse or fighting in the home. I'm not saying this was Leave It to Beaver.
It wasn't a perfect home.
No, I don't know that such a home exists, but it was a fine, solid Christian home, and nobody, I hope no one will try to take the easy way out and to try to blame or otherwise accuse my family of contributing to this, because I know, and I'm trying to tell you as honestly as I know what happened, and I think this is the message I want to get across. But as a young boy, and I mean a boy of 12 or 13, certainly, that I encountered outside the home again, in the local grocery store, or the local drugstore, the softcore pornography, what people call softcore. But as I think I explained to you last night, Dr. Dobson, in an anecdote, that as young boys do, we explored the back roads and sideways and byways of our neighborhood, and oftentimes people would dump the garbage and whatever they were cleaning out of their house, and from time to time we'd come across pornographic books of a harder nature than more graphic, you might say, more explicit nature than we would encounter, let's say, in your local grocery store. I'm no social scientist, and I haven't done a survey. I mean, I don't pretend that I know what John Q. Citizen thinks about this. But I've lived in prison for a long time now. And I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography, without question, without exception, deeply influenced and consumed by an addiction to pornography. There's no question about it. The FBI's own study on serial homicide shows that the most common interest among serial killers is pornography.
That's true.
And it's real. It's true.
Uso de drogas. Brenda Spencer, a assassina que odiava as segundas-feiras. Apesar de sua mãe ter declarado que Brenda era feliz, uma boa criança, bem comportada e nunca tinha problemas na escola, ela havia por conta própria aos 10 anos de idade começado a usar heroína, vício que manteve até os 27 anos, e várias outras drogas. As bebidas alcoólicas também faziam parte de seus hábitos, já que estavam fartamente disponíveis em sua própria casa. Responsável quando ainda era adolescente pelo ataque a uma escola primária que ficava em frente à sua casa, Brenda matou 2 pessoas e deixou outras 9 feridas. Dezenas de anos depois, ela ainda não tinha recordação alguma dos fatos devido ao excesso de drogas usadas na época.
Brenda Spencer never had a trial. She pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. Now she wants one.
During my court appearances, they left a lot of paperwork out that would have had a lot of bearing on my trial if they had brought it up. It would have changed a lot of things.
Such as?
Well, there's 2 sets of toxicology reports. The ones that went to court with me stated that I was on no drugs or alcohol. And then there's an independent lab test from the same blood samples that show I had blood alcohol levels and a lethal amount of drugs in my system, and that was never raised in court.
Including PCP?
There's no test right now for PCP, but the other drugs and the alcohol together on their own were a fatal dosage. If I had no drugs or alcohol in my system, then I'm just a cold-blooded killer, and that's not how I am. If I have drugs and alcohol in my system at the time, it's like it changes it from premeditated to manslaughter.
Filme de terror sobrenatural. Jeffrey Dahmer, o Canibal. Jeff dissecava animais mortos em sua adolescência e tinha até um cemitério particular nos fundos de sua casa. Aos 15 anos, seus poucos colegas perceberam que ele era alcoólatra. Em entrevista dada no ano da sua morte, Jeff confirmou que seus desejos e fantasias assassinas começaram nessa época, não por causa do alcoolismo. Jeff bebia para poder esquecer do que pensava, mas o que ele pensava? Em uma declaração própria, Jeff diz que assistiu uma fita que ele colocava em um clima para matar. Esta fita trata-se do filme O Exorcista, carregado de mensagens subliminares, curiosamente lançado em 1973, na mesma época em que seus colegas e ele próprio afirma ter mudado seu comportamento. Confira a declaração de Jeff e uma das vítimas que por pouco conseguiu escapar.
Think about him as a person. What impression was made on your mind of this fella that you're dealing with here?
That at times he wasn't himself, and then at times he was like a nice guy, you know. He would come and go different times, you know, throughout the whole time. Then he would like sit, being quiet at times, watching the movie, wanting me to watch the movie, you know, and just doing little chanting sounds, you know.
Did you observe him watching the movie and how he would react to the movie?
Right, he would like just start rocking back and forth when he, you know, certain parts of the movie or whatever.
You have to say, what did he say, madam?
He was like chanting in certain times and rocking back and forth, right?
Tell us about his chanting. What was that all about?
I'm not even sure, sir, but it was just like, I can't tell you the words. I couldn't understand what he was saying at that time.
Can you mimic him? How it sounded?
It was like a slow slur, like some of that nature, some close like that, I'm not sure.
Did it keep on for a period of time?
Off and on throughout the ordeal.
And how about the movement back and forth? How was that being effectuated?
Just like back and forth, he would do it every now and then.
Just as you are rocking in
right,
your chair?
Like this.
And chanting?
And chanting.
Was there any parts of the movie that was going on that you saw that he said anything about?
It was like the part about the preacher that used to be a preacher that had got possessed, and that it would seem like he was like interested in that part. That part had his attention more than anything.
Well, tell us about what you mean by that. What impressions were made upon your mind when this was going on as to had his attention? How did he appear to you?
It appeared like it was like he wanted to mimic it or be like that part, you know, being demonized or whatever in that nature.
I'm sorry, I missed you.
Yeah, like he wanted that type of movie, that part, certain parts of that part interested him, you know. It was like he changed with it at times. Then he would get more aggressive, try to get me to handcuff myself, both hands. He's told me it made him feel more dominant.
Okay.
Watching the movie Exorcist 3 was also part of his ritual. It put him in the mood for murder.
I felt so hopelessly evil and perverted that I actually derived a sort of pleasure from watching that tape.
Did you like feeling evil?
No, I didn't, but I had tried to overcome the thoughts, and it worked for a while, but eventually I...
Andrei Chikatilo, o comunista que comia criancinhas. A sua assinatura era desmembrar com sua boca os órgãos sexuais de suas vítimas, ainda em vida, e se alimentar dos genitais. Além disso, costumava dilacerar a língua de suas presas com seus dentes, para impossibilitá-las de gritar socorro. Sua infância, além de passar pelo inferno de Holomodor e ter a perda terrível de seu irmão, Andrei sofria de uma patologia sexual que o deixava permanentemente impotente, cuja explicação em sua consciência seria uma castração logo que nasceu, o que acabou alimentando a sua sede por vingança. Sempre foi um estudante aplicado e um leitor assíduo, mas sofria muito bullying na escola por ter um jeito peculiar e afeminado. Era a diversão de seus colegas. Durante a sua carreira de magistério, sua timidez aflorada dificultava o seu desenvolvimento, pois seus alunos o ridicularizavam e o humilhavam em sala de aula. O mesmo ocorria com seus colegas de profissão. O apelidaram de ganso devido ao seu longo pescoço e a sua postura desajustada. Todas essas angústias acabaram dando start para uma longa carreira criminosa.
Я не можу з нею опозорився, що на всю деревню там все. Кругом сейчас же секс, анекдоты, все встречаются, вот рассказывают, вот я трахнул. А ты, баба, на меня смеются. Я что, если я не трахнул, так я не человек. Мне только обидно, что свою
конечно, подругу Федечку я так, обидавши її, достався і такий дурак. Вона мені казала, що лічись у психбольниці, що тобі треба ходити, лічити. І психбольниця до гінеколога, чи не до гінеколога, а до сексопатолога, а ти лічись. Що ти кажеш, як у тебе не стоїть, ти кулаками заталкуєш, туди він должен сам стояти. І вона все, вона не насміхалась, вона теж плакала в подушку рядом зі мною. Я плакав, чого вона плакала. Ночі постель відверталась. А що, і всі мужики з мене сміються і кажуть, ти баба. А я не знаю, куди. Командировки заганяли, да. Ну, все. А якби ми б куди-небудь вже на остров, куди-небудь, і може, та вони, вже і Фені жити надоїло, вона все страдає за мною, вона за мною, може, поїхала, ми б з нею там, вже не треба nikogo нам, ніяких цих.
Lista pesada, não? Nem todo mundo que mata é psicopata, e nem todo psicopata mata. Este vídeo tem por objetivo repassar alguns ingredientes que podem contribuir com o surgimento da maldade em sua mente. Compartilhar o vídeo com todos os seus conhecidos será uma maneira de prevenção. Deixe seu joinha no vídeo, inscreva-se e até a próxima. Caos!